What's on, where, and when. It's the Talk of Nelson. NBS Talk Nelson.
It's a bold statement, banking for life, and the NBS certainly is serious about that.
To me, banking for life means it is a partnership.
It's for Grandad, it's also for me.
Welcome back to Football Focus, your home for everything football on the top of the South. Must give a big shout out to the Turf Hotel, our venue sponsor. Welcome back, Skippy. Nice to have you here, mate.
Good to be here, bud.
And welcome to our special guest, Phil Thompson, president of FC Nelson. G'day, Phil.
Hello, how are you?
Good, mate. And not much sleep for you because you've been, what do they call that TV show? Moving homes, is it? Moving houses?
Relocate.
Relocate.
There you go. Yeah.
So you've been on that whole journey, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a busy couple of days, to be fair. We can talk about that later, I guess.
Well, why not talk about it now?
Right.
Because big news for the club at FC Nelson. You've been, for a while, dealing with all sorts of parties, including council, trying to make Guppy Park a little bit more of a hub and of course, have a club rooms, which... Yep. You know, apart from Victory Square, which is mainly the Masters Clubhouse, the club, which, you know, has quite a few players, doesn't really have a club rooms. And the darts club rooms right next door, that's pretty much taken. Yeah. So you've been negotiating with council for a while now. So tell us about that process. And in actual fact, you found one in Blenheim.
Yeah. Probably we've been working at it about 6 years, maybe even longer. Initially, we had the concept of building something new, went all the way through the architectural design and detail to put something together, and the cost ballooned out to $750,000 or nearly to $1 million. And we hit a bit of a roadblock financially and whether we were going to get full support from the local council and from the members. And then sort of luck would have it, somebody found on actually social media on Facebook, a wee post on buy and sell, selling a club room, anybody interested? So
wow,
a little bit of negotiation. And then obviously Nelson City Council have come on board to about 128K. They supported the project. We purchased the building. The building 2 nights ago was essentially split into two, put on a truck, delivered over 2 nights. And as we speak, it's sitting at Guppy.
And so you, of course, had nightmares of it tipping down into the Whangamoa Gully, and
still having nightmares whether it's how it's going to survive down at Guppy. But it was the old Renwick Rugby Club. Its history. So it moved from. There's now a community hall there that was it was moved off site for that to be built. So that then moved to the Polo Club, which is in the back end of Blenheim. So it's been sitting on piles there. It's 170, 180 square meters.
Wow.
Designed to be a club room. Great windows at the front, windows to the side, really good viewing areas, and a wee little dance floor and a wee little place to sit and have a quiet beverage if we're allowed to. And so when we put the offer in, it's fit for purpose. It's exactly the same size as what we were going to build.
Wow.
But I could possibly say 5% of the cost we were going to pay.
Wow, how's that?
So we're pretty wrapped.
What a great, and it's not a club room, it's a club hub, isn't it? Because even though predominantly probably the football club will use most of it, it is going to be available for other members of the community use.
Yeah, and as we know, we play football only half the year and we socialise probably even less than that. So we're thinking if during the summer we can use it, community groups can use it, during the week community groups can use it. Bill Hupler actually was on the phone yesterday talking about a cultural festival of sorts in October this year. So if we can use it for that, it's about it being used for the community rather than just being about football, because as we were talking before, the way we use club rooms has changed. So we need to turn it into a space that's a far more socially open space rather than it just being football. So there will be a Man City flag somewhere in the club rooms, I'm sure.
I'm sure that'd be smothered over with other flags in no time at all. And of course, could be the start of the Guppy Park Cricket Club.
Well, I was thinking that only
I'm sure you will.
on walking football. That
Oh,
could be
walking
something
football,
we
yeah.
might introduce, but I doubt the walking football will get here before the cricket.
We talked about that with Stu and how in Christchurch they're starting club walking football.
All right.
And there's a walking football organisation in the Mootery. And of course, you've got Nelson Girls, but it could turn into a club competition in the future. So that'll be interesting. Well, congratulations. Well done. And I believe it is on site.
It's on site. It's obviously secured on site as we speak. We've got a project team. We've got actually a great football team. We've got Mark Johnson's on the project team, and Mike Nusso's on the project team. George Molnar's on the project team.
Perfect.
Merv Ward. I think I'm in goal, so I'm on the project team as well. But they're all people in the building industry, so they're part of driving it forward, and they really own the whole project.
Yeah.
So now it's get support from the club, get some funding, hopefully put some grant submissions in. And just keep moving forward. We've got a little money in the kitty now, but we just need to get all hands on deck. The date we basically set the junior prize giving is the date at the beginning of September as open to the public, but hopefully before that we'll be able to use it in some shape or form.
Fantastic. Great.
Oh, brilliant.
Good news. Well done, mate. Just before we go on, we must give a shout out to the Turf Hotel team, and it's jam night Thursday night. Friday night it's Toadstool. Saturday DJ Tripper, and the meat raffle $2,200 on Sunday. So make sure you get your tickets. Much of an off season for you? Did you get the whites on?
No,
you didn't.
No, and Skip would know it's football. Basically, football tends to go all the year round. We went back to the UK, spent 4 weeks in the UK, and at least on two occasions watched Manchester City play. So
oh wow!
And Freddie had a bit of a trial down at Bath City or whatever. So had a great trip. Really enjoyed it. Saw a lot of family. Don't miss it too much. Glad to come back home to New Zealand.
Is that right? Right. Didn't have the urge.
Absolutely not at all.
Oh, good. So preparation, obviously, for the 2025 season. So obviously had summer football, and then there's always that process about planning and applying for funding. And so can you tell us about, what the 2025 season looks like for you and what the club's looking forward to?
Well, I guess the big jump shift was we got dear old Davor Tavic back on board.
Yeah.
He was a bit of a loose end. So between us and working together with Nelson College, we sort of utilised that MOU. So not only is he looking after the Nelson College first 11, he's also looking after our first 11. And he sits at the top of our, as a director of football, overseeing the whole of football within the club. LTJ's moved on, past his new, and we've got a Manuel in there now who's of Italian pedigree, and he's essentially our what we call FDO, doing a great job. Nicole's been moved to a general manager role, just again to sort of create a real operational structure below the committee, and that seems to have worked really well. And good numbers. Talking about it last night at our committee meeting, I think we're 10 players short of what we had last year.
Oh right, yeah.
And we can name the players. We basically can name the players that are not playing. But we've had a incredible uptake in that sort of girls junior space.
Oh, great.
Like 8, 9, 10-year-olds. A guy called Neil Benson's looking after that. And he talked about last night, 22 girls turning up to his training sessions. Absolutely new to football, some of these girls. And that's great. And
fantastic.
And we were looking down the barrel of not having a women's team this year. And now we're tapping on to 21, 22 women turning up for training and fighting for a place in the team, which is absolutely superb. And the momentum's right in that space. So all in all, everything's right. Just keep going forward. The weather is just working in our favor, giving us a few more weeks to get ready. And hopefully from here we go forward.
So senior stock's looking pretty good in the lower divisions as well.
Yeah. We've got a new. We've kind of changed some of our descriptions of teams, and we're trying to basically have a first division, second division, third division, fourth team, fifth team, and so on. So we've now we've got a fifth team, which is the old Masters. They've moved into the fifth division, and we have a team based around the Tune community that's our fourth team, and they've come into the fourth division as well. So we've covered in all the divisions.
Great.
And there's increasingly a bit more movement between each team, which I think is good. I think it takes away a bit of that insular stuff.
And Bridie's moved into taking up the reserve team. Is that right?
Oh, we'll call it the development team.
Team,
essentially all but one or two players under 20, if not under 18. And he's loving it. He's actually got a new lease of life, and the kids love him. They love the way he delivers it. But he's working. The kids are pushing to trying to get into Devils, I suppose, elite group. So there's some competition in there. So it's a cool environment. So we've got a hell of a lot of experience now at the club of making.
It's pretty good coaching pedigree, isn't it?
100%, yeah.
You know, Bridie and Devil working together. I mean, that's going to bring in some great talent. So that's good to see. So, well, you know, obviously now that the season's underway, what are you looking forward to for the rest of the season? I suppose the club rooms is one, but
club rooms and football is obviously got to get back to the focus of football. If the kids, those young kids who are playing at that top level, develop, that's a focus for all of us. I think it's not so much what we win or what we might compete. It's just having all of these guys playing sport. And I don't really see any more targets from now. It's just as long as we can get through. We've got a big game in a couple of weeks against a team down the road.
Yeah, that's right.
That's probably the big.
We're going to talk about that because I wondered about the draw coming up. Yeah, I think it's the 10th of May. So we're going to talk about that, a big clash. But, you know, those inter-club rival matches, you know, especially around Chatham Cup, they just create a fantastic atmosphere, don't they?
Very
what we want. Well, good news, Phil. So lots happening. And, you know, it looks like the club's, you know, suburbs seems to be in good shape and good numbers. And Stu was saying, I think numbers are overall through the region are up, at least as well. So good to see that FC Nelson's following that trend as well. And we'll talk to more clubs throughout the season, how they're tracking. But well done, mate.
Well, that's it. And we're trying, you talked about walking football. I'm not sure if I've been won over yet with that, but it's finding as many options for people to be able to participate as much as you can. We should start this Sunday futsal again. Old Ben Wright used to run a drop-in football centre out at Kills College. So we'll hopefully get that running as of this week. So again, more opportunity for people just to do something different.
Participate. Yeah, and I mean, the other thing that I didn't realise, I knew that in the senior divisions, fourth, thirds, you had rolling subs. I didn't realise rolling sub in second division. So actually that gives the opportunity for more touches on the ball. And we talked about that last week. So yeah, it's good. Okay, well, let's rip into what's happening with all things football. Geez, right across the globe, actually. A big agenda.
It's been a very good weekend.
Yes, it has been, actually. So first of all, let's look at Chatham Cup, the preliminary rounds, and it ended up being 10-1 over Central. So we thought that might be a bit more competitive, didn't we?
We said it was going to go two ways. They were either going to run over the top of them or Central would make it physical, and it looked like they ran over the top of them. So I think we got both sides of it right, I think. So
I went over to watch it, actually.
Oh, did you?
Their goalkeeper, who was a fill-in goalkeeper, normally plays centre-back, probably kept it from being 20.
Oh, is that right?
And the crossbar and the post probably kept it from another 5. He was their player of the day, and but the poor guy was exhausted.
Oh, bet he was. Yeah, bet he was. Yeah, so obviously Devil got the team well drilled, and so a big result there. Rangers 6-1 over Motueka. Mm-hmm. That was at Memorial Park, but we kind of picked that Rangers would be too strong. But Wakefield 2-1 over Richmond.
Yeah, it went to extra time as well. I think
yes, it was in extra time, wasn't it?
They scored the winner. A few of our boys went down and watched it and said, it was a battle, and I think Wakefield scored late on in extra time as well to take the win. So there would have been partying the Wakefield Tavern on Saturday night.
I bet they would have.
There would have been.
Yeah, fantastic. feel sorry for Richmond, obviously, but it's good when you get those kind of results for clubs that, they're now going to the second round and they get a chance to have a crack against another top side. But when I was sort of thinking about it, Wakefield played First Division last year. Same with...
No, they haven't
Oh,
played
didn't they?
No, they haven't played First Division for a few years.
Oh, is that right? Oh,
Right.
right. So they have been. But I just wondered whether some of the experience, especially they've been in and around that top tier, Second Division definitely, and at times they've been in First Division, but just whether that experience is not sometimes that massive difference between Second and First Division, is there?
No, not really. And again, Wakefield have always been a tough place to go and play, and I'd say they would have liked the conditions. Yeah, it was a bit wet underfoot and a bit muddy, and they would have made it a real battle against the young Richmond side.
They'll be a physical side,
Yeah.
and so the young boys would have had to cope with that. But that's just the way a game goes sometimes, isn't it? It just doesn't go your way. Well done to Wakefield. Now, I'm not 100% sure on this because this is just what I found online, but the word on the street is, and you might have confirmed it, that Nelson Suburbs will be taking on FC Nelson.
Yep.
Yes.
Correct. Yep.
Right, and is that on the 10th?
It'll either be on the Saturday or the Sunday.
Right.
Hopefully confirmed by today.
And is that going to be at Saxton?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So there'll be big turnouts either side, and of course last year there was an upset.
Yep, 100%.
So the Nelson Suburbs boys won't want that to happen again. But I'm sure Davo has got other plans, Phil.
It's fabulous. It's a kind of a pity we didn't have one more round in a kind of the top of the South thing, but still, as I said to our household last night, if you want to do well, you've got to beat the best teams.
Well, you do, absolutely, 100%. And Wakefield, the journey continues.
I wish they got it at home. We were watching this on Twitter yesterday. Please just give Wakefield give them a home game
on a Thursday night,
and they would have made it. They would have won it. They would have done it on a Thursday night, and they would have. And we're just like, I hope someone gets them at home, and they got Rangers away.
They got away. Yeah.
But an unknown for Rangers. So, Wakefield on a roll at the moment. You never know.
Either way, that'll be a good bus trip home, I would think.
Yes, it will be, especially if they get another upset. Now, and again, not 100% on this because, online's not always 100%, but the first round for the Sheppard Cup, I'm presuming it's the Richmond Foxes because it said Richmond FC.
Yeah, it's at Richmond,
versus Nelson Suburbs. Is that the reserve side?
No, that's the WSPL girls.
That's SPL girls, right? And so that is going to be at Jubilee Park, is that right?
Yes, I would
right.
say so.
And that's on the either the 10th or the 11th.
Yeah, again, I haven't spoke
to be
Chris
confirmed
yet, but that'll be either Saturday or Sunday.
Be a good game. Fox is a good side. So Nelson Pine senior women results, and might have been the Mercy Law here. Tahuna Breakers 11-2 over the Nelson Diamond. So Tahuna, as we've spoken about last season, really have gone up a level, and Nelson Diamond's still finding their feet, aren't they, really, Phil?
Yeah, it's interesting. What you're saying, 11-2.
Well, that's just what it had online. Might have been wrong.
No, it's interesting because I think the Mercy rule is
10-0.
9-0.
Oh, is it 9? 9, right.
And then they scored, I know that FC girls scored their first goal of
right.
group. But how that works, whether you get to 9 and it's 9-0.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's just those.
Oh, you've got to give them the goals.
No. It's all
no,
about...
but I think what he's saying is that
it could be 9-2, could it not?
Well, that's true. Yeah. That's true, but it might be a 9-point difference, maybe. So Nelson Diamond scored 2 goals, so it had to be a 9-point difference.
You see, that's why you need Butler involved.
Yeah,
it takes the passion out of things.
Just make it 9-2.
Yeah, 9-2. Okay.
Really?
Tahuna Breakers 9-2 over Nelson Diamonds. It could come down to goal difference.
All right.
Skippy. Motueka Angels, they get their win. So they're actually starting to have more wins and losses than we've seen in the past. And Motueka Angels 5-2 over Wakefield. To be fair, Wakefield fresh into the league and still finding their feet. So congratulations to Motueka. They'll be rapt about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Golden Bay Cougars 4-2 over Richmond Swans. Home ground advantage there. And Golden Bay 1-0 with Suburbs
1-1.
1-1. Sorry, 1-0.
Yeah. 1-1.
With Suburbs Senior Division.
Really good game. And all accounts, speaking to David Capstick, the Academy girls coach, he said it was a very, very good game. So yeah, the girls really enjoyed their day over there, and I got some pictures of them at the market and stuff, which was quite fun. So they had a good trip over. Probably disappointed that they didn't win, but yeah, really enjoyed the day and really enjoyed the game. So awesome for them.
And I think looking at those scores, apart from the top one, it's great to see the closeness of the game.
Yeah.
I think a real step forward for women's football.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. No, we had a couple of early rounds, which were, some big cricket scores, but actually, very even there. And we noticed that last season, as the season went on, the games actually got closer and closer. And Motueka got their first win last year. So, it's those kind of results. It's all in increments, isn't it? Let's look at the fixtures and quick fire. Richmond Swans versus Golden Bay, Phil. That's at Jubilee Park. Shield Maiden's got to make it over the hill.
1-1.
1-1. Nelson Diamonds and I can't give you this one.
He's going to do it every week. He's
just going to cause.
Of course he is.
Actually, I can't give you either of the next one. Nelson Diamonds versus Suburbs Women. Well, I'll have to go for I've got to back the Diamonds. To get their first win on the home ground. Got to support the girls. Richmond Foxes versus Motueka Angels. That's at Jubilee Park. So, Phil, you're going to call that a draw, are you?
9-0.
Yeah.
Or 11-2.
11-2.
I don't know. Motueka Angels,
Yeah,
they'll be coming in with confidence. They might.
They've scored a few goals.
Wakefield FC ladies against Mapua Cougars. So tough, Skippy, tough game. But they are at home at the Wakefield Domain.
So with the role, you could see maybe a couple of the Tahuna Breakers going across and playing for Wakefield in that.
True.
So might, if the Wakefield coach is smart enough, he'll find out who's scoring all the goals for Tahuna.
Get on the blower.
Get them in. I'd get those 3 in for that game and see how it goes.
It could be 9-0 to Wakefield. All right. So good luck this weekend. Nelson Pine senior men and is that right? Tahuna get their 2-0 win over Karini.
Yeah, I didn't know I thought the game was off because the guys were in Australia, but they must be back.
They're back.
They're back. Okay.
I think Tahuna played well. The report played well. Karini might have had the player sent off. I'm not absolutely sure, but good win for Tahuna. They're probably
they came so close to getting these results last year. So this, 2-0 result over Karini, who's a very good side.
Yeah, very good.
That's a great result for them. So, and also that was away. So that was at Neil Park.
Yeah.
So great result for Tahuna. Nelson First, that's against the Suburbs under 18s to be confirmed later on.
Yeah, didn't play.
So
we'll
that's going to be at a later date. Richmond taking on Suburbs Reserves. 3-2, is that right?
Yeah, that was
at Richmond.
That was last night.
Last night, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So they played last night on their lights.
Jubilee Park.
Yep. So boys did well. It was 1-1 at halftime, I think. Speaking to Phil after the game, and sort of created a lot more chances in the second half. But Richmond got another goal as well, so we took it to 3-2, I think. So boys did well. But tight game, which is brilliant. For
it's tough out there under lights.
But it's great. Yeah. Great close game. Another close game. In the league, which is awesome. So,
fantastic. All right, so quick fire fixtures for this weekend. Rangers versus Tahuna, Phil. It's in Blenheim. AMP Park.
4-0.
Oh, you don't have to give the score. You just pick the winner. 4-0. He's accurate, isn't he?
I'll put money on 4-0.
Suburbs SBL Reserves taking on FC Nelson First at Saxton, 3 o'clock. What a game this is going to be.
That will be a good game.
Yeah.
That will be moved to number 1 as well. So it'll be Saxton's 1. So we'll get that confirmed today. But it'll be on the number 1 pitch. So boys are looking forward to it. Yeah, good game.
Great game. And then you've got the another great game, actually, the under 18s taking on Nelson Karini. That's at Saxton 3. So it's all going to be happening at Saxton's this weekend.
It's the under 18s first game. We haven't played.
Yeah.
They've had buys and then they've had Chatham Cup. So they are eager.
They had a friendly after your game on Saturday.
They played our reserves. They started well. They were 2-0 up. They went out to lose 5-6-2, but for 30 minutes they were very, very good on top. So, Corey Wilson was in goal for them for a bit.
Right.
So he sort of helped with a bit of experience at the back. But they're just looking forward to it. They know every weekend for them is a free hit, and they're there to develop and learn. And so they'll go out, and I think they'll be quite exciting to watch at times. And the scores might be quite high.
There was a bit of a height difference, I can tell you that.
They're not the biggest team in the world. Little Sammy up front, and so now the boys are doing well. They're working hard with Geezer and Dundee, and they're as I said, they're just looking forward to every game.
I noticed Corey on the sideline. So is he sort of still involved with the mainland side at all, or is he injured or not doing it anymore?
Corey's traveling this weekend with the first
team. He is, right.
So he's back in. Yeah, he's recovered from his surgery from last year, and he's been back in training, working hard. in pre-season. Nick's done a terrific job. Unfortunately, he's away for his birthday, 40, same as me this month. So he's being taken away by the family. But yeah, great to have Corey back, and it'd be great to see him back out there in the field. And it was brilliant to see Nick came down last night because our goalkeeping coach was involved with the reserves, and he came down and took Corey for a session, which was awesome to see. So yeah, we're looking forward to getting him back out there, and yeah, hopefully he does well and enjoys it.
Fourth Division men's highlights. So we feature a game each week from the lower divisions. Or I shouldn't say lower, so more senior divisions, you should say. Fourth Division highlight, it's the Suburbs Buller Boys taking on Wakefield at Saxton 6.
That could be quite special. I think hopefully Wakefield is still recruiting some of the boys from the vineyards. So you might have a bit of buller and a bit of Vanuatu action going on down at Saxton. So, gosh, is there a ref?
I don't know.
If there's a ref, maybe it won't be as high. I'd go Wakefield. Wakefield are on a roll.
Yeah, right. They are at the moment.
Sorry, Buller boys.
No, yeah, it's a good group. We changed their name this year because they asked us to. But again, 95% of the team are born in Fiji. Right. And live in Nelson now. So they've been at the club now for 3 years. They're lively, I'll give them that, and they bring a completely different culture to our football club, which is brilliant. They're always down there every Wednesday night training. They train all the time. They're fantastic, and yeah, they are a tough team to play against because they can get feisty at times, but they're loving the football, and it's good to have them. To be honest, it's a good part of the club.
Brings a good atmosphere, and we know all about that at FC, don't we? With what that community brings into local football. It's just a great atmosphere. Southern League women and results: Horswell 2-1 over NW United, Kashmir Tech 5-1 over Roslyn, and unfortunately, Suburbs going down 2-0 to UC Canterbury. Any feedback on how that game went?
The girls are doing it tough at the moment. It's a young side. Again, speaking to Dave on Monday and Jill, the coaching staff, they just haven't put a 100% performance together. There's been patches of goodness, good stuff, and positive play, and yeah, they just haven't been able to put it together yet. So hopefully they're back at home this weekend. So we're hoping that can change. I know Dave took them all out for a curry last night, team bonding, just to sort of try to get them in a better mindset and get back into training tonight and Thursday. So yeah, the girls, they've got some talented players in there, and they just need to get together and put it together, and I think they'll start to see results.
Dunedin City Royals 2-0 over Coastal Spirit. Looking at this weekend, Roslyn Wakari versus Horswell, Coastal Spirit versus Otago Uni. Then we've got Nelson Suburbs, NW United Sunday 12:30.
Yep, against the Nomads Waimak team.
Yeah, so probably fancy their chances there.
Yeah, they're looking forward to it. Yeah, again, they were looking forward to the Horswell game, but it got rained off at home. So they've only really played one home game, and that was against the top team, which was one of the top teams, Cash Tech. So the girls are really excited about playing in front of their fans and their parents and friends. So yeah, looking forward to that game on Sunday.
UC Canterbury versus Dunedin City Royals. And if we look at the results from Southern League men, Christchurch United 10-0 over UC Canterbury. Was there any mercy law in that? No.
That could have been more as well. I watched it. It was on FIFA Plus. Yeah, there was a big golfing class there.
Yeah.
Honest. Yeah.
So would that be impacted by university being on half term or?
Yeah, on holiday as well. And then the other thing is, well, we spoke about it the first episode briefly. Christchurch United are building for the OFC Pro League if they get in. So the talent that they've been able to bring in at the moment on the back of going for that is, and they're training 4 mornings a week. They're as close as to pro I think you can be as an amateur club, and again Slavas has backed that club, and they're looking to push on to bigger and better things. And so yeah, they're tough.
And you see, I mean, there is that holiday break problem they have, but to be fair, they haven't really followed the season. No. So there's something going on there. Neil said they look quite fit and fast in the pre-season, but there must be a bit of a class difference at the moment.
They lost their coach. So their coach took his OE after the first game of the season. So they had their coach for the first, and then Ben has gone to the UK. So I think the president's maybe coaching the team at the moment. Who is a coach? I know him. He used to work for Coastal Spirit, so I think he just needs a bit of help. And yeah, hopefully they can get firing. Young Sam Newsom's due back soon. He got a bad injury. He's been out for 5-6 weeks. Played for FC Nelson, who's been a big player for them the last 2-3 years. So hopefully they can get Sam back out there, and that will help. So yeah.
Ferrymead Bay's 2-2 with the Eden City Royals. What a great result for Ferrymead.
Good game, yeah. Ferrymead will be a bit disappointed, I think, with Alan Walker. I think they conceded in the 91st minute.
Oh,
maybe.
right. So they're up.
Royals scored a free kick late to make it 2-2. So Alan, especially at home, I think he'd be disappointed he didn't get all 3 points.
And they seem to they didn't do this on a year after year. They don't start that well, and then he builds a bit of a group and a style. And they become a strong team through the middle of the season. We played them that was in the Chatham Cup.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
We thought we've got a chance here because we looked at the previous results, but he was building, and then he goes on.
And the thing is with Christchurch, the movement of players is crazy. So you'll get players that'll be somewhere and they won't be playing. And then if you're smart enough and proactive, you can get those players in. So I know Alan has brought in 2 or 3 lately, so that's only going to strengthen the team. So he will. They always do seem to get stronger near the end of the season, and they're always up there. They're always up there, top 5, top 6. So.
And Wanaka, they're up there on the table now. Fresh into the league, 3-1 over Selwyn. To be fair, Selwyn hasn't been travelling that well, but 3-1, doing it at home. They're having a good start to the season.
Yeah, good setup down there. Ben Sapola, who good friend of mine, who used to run Olay Academy, is the head coach there, and he's looking after the club, and he's done a great job. It's crazy to even see just in local football, but 3 of the Selwyn players have moved to Wanaka to play for Wanaka because Ben coached them as youth in Wellington. So Ben again's been recruiting in Wanaka as well, and I know Selwyn have been pillaged a little bit. Tech have took their goalkeeper, 2 of their best young players. So he's finding it hard, Chris, and again they went 1-0 up, I think, as well, Selwyn. So they must have thought they were on. But yeah, Wanaka, when you go down there, it's a small pitch. They play in a square. That's what Ben likes, and they'll do well at home. I don't think many teams will beat them at home.
And we haven't got to the change in temperature yet. You get to Wanaka in June and July.
Right. Oh shit. We're there in August. It's going to be absolutely bolting.
It's snowing. You have to clear the pitch beforehand.
Get making your sweater.
Coastal Spirit 4-2 over Nomads United. So Nomads actually had been travelling quite well, but Coastal starting to find their straps now, aren't they?
Nomads were 2-1 up with 20 minutes.
Oh, were they? Were they?
It was
3 in the last 20.
Yep, they were up. Yep, they were up 2-1 with 20 to go, and Coastal caught them twice. So Nomads, as I said, I have big respect for their coach. He's got a young side, Matt, and they're always thereabouts. And again, they did well against Tech last week, and then to be 2-1 up against Coastal at home, I thought they would have seen it out. But unfortunately, sometimes with a young side, things like that can happen. So they'll keep going. They'll keep boxing on.
And what a result on Saturday. We got a few and went out there to watch. Made a weekend of it. The weather was beautiful. Suburbs 2, Cashmere Tech 0. What a great result. I get, from my observation, when you first came out, we were both saying that your technical skill at the start in that first 15, 20 minutes, with the boys passing it around, they were quicker on the ball. Their technical skills look quicker than Cashmere. It's almost like they got caught short a bit and at the pace, and then obviously you got a goal and went 1-0 up, and then it kind of leveled up a bit. And for me, it was almost like your side started playing their level. So obviously Cash Tech got a boot on the bum and they started perhaps attacking a bit more, and you were playing on their level. Then obviously a send off, so you're down to 10. But then the second half, it started the same as the first half. You boys started pinging the ball around with 10 men because I thought, here we go, this is going to be hard. But actually, the young boys that remained on the field, especially in that midfield, a little bit of experience went off, and Corey went off, and the young boys stepped up, and just their passing and their speed and their energy, it was there. And of course, that led to a second goal. So that was my thoughts anyway. But tell us what you think.
Again, the big thing for us against Cash Tech is make sure we start well. I think if you give Tech any field position and you let them pin you in, then it's going to be a hard game. They've got so much experience. The Tom Swartz at the back, who just peppers
yeah.
you with ball after ball after ball. And if you don't deal with it, then they can really peg you in. But I thought the boys started really, really well. I thought we looked really good in the front foot, and yeah, we got our goal early, which was the plan, to get up and then make them come at us and see if we can pick them apart. And the game again, we were going well, and sort of got back into the game, started causing a few problems, and then we lost Corey in injury time in the first half for a second yellow card, which I'm not going to. It's one of the softest yellow cards I've ever seen in football, to be honest.
He's not going to make any comments in case of the fine.
He got elbowed in the ribs and then got sent off for pushing the guy away. So yeah, so we appealed it. I'm open about it. I've got mainland football came back to me with the response, and I have to take it as a coach. Don't have to agree with it, but yeah. So we did that, and we asked the boys at the half time to make sure that we do what we did against Bays when we went down to 10 men, and stay on the front foot and not sit in and feel sorry for ourselves, and go out there and keep going at them and see if we can get another goal. It was very important that we scored next, and I think we took the wind out of their sails actually when we scored the second goal. And we could have made it 3, I thought, late on as well. So the boys' energy levels at the moment, a lot of that goes down to our new strength and conditioning coach, who we've nabbed from the Marcos, Kieran, who's done an amazing job with the boys in pre-season, and they're looking the fittest they've ever been, I think, and it's showing in the way they're playing and the way they're defending. And yeah, we go again on Sunday against Coastal.
So was that Dante in the middle?
Yeah, Dante was back. He was looking sharp.
And he was looking good in the
then got injured
in the midfield, and then
we
he
had to
came
take him
off.
Yeah, he picked up an injury in the first half, so he came off. But then Alex Ward, who's not a centre midfielder, he'll tell you that he's an attacking player. He's came on again and done an unbelievable job for us in the middle. And yeah, that's what we need.
I just thought those young boys just stepped up, and played really well. So fantastic results. Skippy would be happy with that, and just shows that where the team can play and what level that team can play. All right, well done. So let's get on to the picks for this weekend: Dunedin City Royals and Christchurch United. This is in Dunedin.
We need rain. We need wind. I said this to you. We went down there 2 weeks ago and didn't get started. They're not traveling as far because it's just a short flight. But the Royals, when they're in your face, they can ask questions of you. And Christchurch, we've played them. They're not the most physical team in the world, and I think if the Royals go out with the right game plan and just look to disrupt and cause havoc, I think they could get something out of that. But if they try to match Christchurch United and try to play, that'll be a long day for them.
Wanaka gets a home game against Nomads, so you'd have to pick Wanaka, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
That's on the square pitch.
It is. Have you been down there? It is beautiful though.
Can't afford it, Skip, mate.
It's
can't afford to
accommodate.
It's literally, it's like the council built them for them. It's beautiful, and it's this brand new pitch, and then they've got this massive new world beside it, and it's a lovely, but it doesn't look like a football. And he's designed it for himself, I think, Ben. It's just a lovely set.
You'll turn out one day and it's an oval.
Yeah, no one Ben Sapoli probably would change it, but yeah, they'll again, the same as us every season, being the team that's out of the Christchurch region. You target your home games. You try to win them all if you can, and that's your main focus. And then if you can pick up some points away from home, you take them. But Wanaka will be targeting every team they have at home.
Geez, and check this one out. Kashmir Tech will be a little bit hurt, and then Ferrymead going, well, look what we did against Dunedin City Royals. That'll be a tough game too, won't it?
Yeah, I think Tech have Garvin back, who makes a massive difference. And he's their goal scorer, and I think they missed him on Saturday against us. I don't think they had the vocal point that they usually have with him. But yeah, as I said, Bays on their day they can do well and they can hurt teams. So yeah, it'll be a tighter game than the last time they played.
Selwyn versus UC Canterbury, and this should be quite interesting too.
Six pointer.
That is
wooden spooner.
That is a very important game.
Yeah,
so early on in the season for those two teams. Yeah, it's massive.
And then Coastal Spirit, you've got to go down to Christchurch on Sunday, 12 o'clock, and Coastal Spirit never a slouch side, are they? So
well, they said second at the moment. They're 2 points behind Christchurch United, and I think we're on the same points. No, we're 2 off them. Yeah, so big game for us if we want to be up there and around that. We need to at least take something.
So no
Given a
Corey and will Dante.
Dante, he trained.
all right?
He trained. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
good.
So he trained light training last night, so he's looking okay.
He looked good in the midfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we'll go down. And as I said, if we can take anything from that game, yes, we'd love to win it. But if we can go down there and take a point, I'd be happy. It keeps us up in the mix and yeah, keeps us going and then rely on our home form to turn teams over.
A-League men and results, Brisbane Roar 1-0 over Wellington, who really just seeing the season out, but did re-sign their coach.
Interesting.
Nobody wanted him. Maybe that would be the argument. The good players left last year and they were wanted, and it's whether anybody knock on his door? Probably not.
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously with Auckland coming into the mix, there would have been an attraction. And obviously, I think through injury and through loss of players, he had quite a young side, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he did do well the previous year.
Yeah, definitely.
And the reading on the wall was that, is he just, can you tell out of one season? And with the way that this season went, but it's going into next season, is he going to be facing the same problems? Quite a young side. Is he going to attract the players? They all want to go play for Auckland? There's all those questions, isn't there?
Well, and we know they've lost more because Sutton has publicly came out now and said he's signed for the Perth Glory. Wooting, the centre back, the English one.
Yes.
He's signed for the Perth Glory as well. So it's an interest. To be honest, we spoke about this a couple of weeks ago. I thought they were going to maybe refresh it. I thought they might have went with someone within and maybe promoted Chris Greenacre to the job. He's been in the academy and been part of the club for the last 10, 15 years. And I just thought he's doing really well with the reserves in the Central League and the National League. And I thought they might have started a rebuild around Chris Greenacre. And that was my opinion. And speaking to friends that live in the Wellington area and Wellington fans, I think that was what people thought was going to happen, I think. And yeah, they've stuck by him. They've given him a year and an extension option at the end of that year. So they're backing their man, so to speak. And yeah, we'll see what happens there. But he's going to have a big off season with player recruitment. He is, if he's going to be competitive. And the pressure is with Auckland.
Interesting. We were talking about the Pro League, and that's another. It just undermines sort of that structure and that feeder group they were going to get. So if you're half thinking in the South Island and you want to play in it, let's say Christchurch United is successful, you're going to start looking at that as your
100%.
Yeah. It's a difficult time.
And then it's the thing about the roundabout. We were chatting about this the other day because we've applied for it. We find out in May what the next stages are. But how can they're saying that the Phoenix and Auckland FC are going to be in it, but it's an Oceania competition.
Yeah,
the A-League is an Asian competition.
Yeah, that's right.
They're both pro, but so how can they play in two pro competitions? I don't know how it works, and I think this Pro League it's a great opportunity for teams, but it's meant to start in January. It just seems rushed.
Yeah,
it seems like it's been squeezed in and it's been put out there, and again, I hope it works 100% for the teams that do get into it.
It was more focused around trying to get the islands up to speed, wasn't it? Was that the main focus, that it was trying to give islands top class football within the region to strengthen island football?
Would it be wrong for me to say maybe it was to get some island nations on board with FIFA and some heads of FIFA and to get signatures on?
Well, it was FIFA driven, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
and that's what they said. It was to try and increase the quality of football within the region in island football. Obviously, New Zealand's part of that.
I'm just questioning, are we being naive to think that was their end goal? Because what will probably happen, if you look at some of the teams that have put their hands up, they're going to be very, very, very strong. I mean, if, let's say, again, Christchurch do it, they are going to be a fully serious professional outfit.
Yeah.
And is that a fair and equal competition against some of the island teams?
Again, I've worked in the islands and I understand sometimes they struggle with the logistics side and the comms and stuff. So what pressure does that put on them if they're given a franchise, and the financial pressure of that? And how does it all do it? I know it's the competition apparently is sponsored by Tour Saudi Arabia. Oh. So did they not just get the World Cup, the next one?
Skip, mate.
I
just want to question, Dave Turner took the girls out for a curry on a Tuesday night. Who paid for that?
Hopefully, Dave Turner.
It would probably half price. It'd be half price Tuesdays. Yeah.
But yeah, just on the pro league, I think it's exciting, isn't it? I think it is exciting, but how it works, I think everyone's still on don't know, they're in the dark about how it runs and what the plan is for it. Is it one of these leagues that was going to pop up and disappear, or what is the long term goal, and what for clubs like ourselves and FC Nelson and Richmond, what does it do to our landscape and what our football is going forward?
And talking to the guys at North Wellington, actually, same thing. Where does that leave us? They've now got a 2-tier central league structure, and then maybe one of their a team from Wellington gets into this pro league. Where do the players go?
Do they go to the Phoenix, or do they go to
what do they do?
Yeah,
and then
can you swap freely between the two? Can you do a transfer if need be?
An interest. I'd like to know if Auckland, we haven't got to the Auckland FC, if they win the A League, are they the Australian representative?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
For what?
For that, whatever you call it,
for the World Cup, the World Club
Championship, wasn't it? I think it is.
No, and then you come second, you can't do that. And then,
because we've always had mainly Auckland City representatives in that World Club football. You're right. It is an A League side that ends up representing Australia.
Yeah, but it's the winners of the Asian Champions League that goes for Asia.
Right,
it's not the winners of the A League. It's the winners of the Asia Champions League.
So they would go into that.
We're not allowed to play in it because we're Oceania. Yeah, this is the whole thing.
Right.
And then when the OFC Pro League came out, it was announced that the winner of that would do the World Club Championship. So what does that do to the place that was involved with the National League? Yeah. So how does that change that?
Jeez. It's all a bit complicated for me.
If it's on TV, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
It's good. It'd be good for young lads and young girls that are playing football to see teams in Auckland playing teams from. There's words that there's a team from Hawaii. Don't know how that works. Team from Australia in the Oceania League. Don't know how that works.
Yeah, right.
So I'm looking forward to seeing the makeup of it when it actually does come out and see how it works.
Someone's got to put it together. Auckland FC 1-0 over Perth Glory, and actually before the game actually clinched the title. Yeah. Would have been a bit of a downer if they got beaten, but they managed to squeeze a goal and then celebrate and win the league. So, geez, you couldn't have written a better script for them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, especially with the coach being sacked. The season before, early season. Then, of course, gets picked up by Auckland City and then comes out and wins the league. So, great story for him.
Brilliant. And as we said, they've been strong all year. They've sometimes they're not the most attractive team to watch, but they get results. And he's very result focused, and he knows that's the part of the business. And they've done well. And again, they've targeted their home games. I don't think they've lost many games at home.
No, and they certainly haven't been the best team every game, but they just that last 15 they sneak it in, don't they?
Grind it.
Even sometimes in the 90th minute, they'll sneak one in. So that's all you need to do.
And you're hearing much of the feedback is they're conditioned and they're ready, and it's in effect a professional outfit. They take the Bournemouth model and they're using that, and so they are fit in the last 15. Those players are at that level. Yeah. And they've got a crowd. I've got some good friends in Auckland who are involved in clubs in Auckland. They've been very clever in engaging all the clubs to be part of the sort of AFC.
That's brilliant. That's
right. Yeah.
So how many were there? 25,000
Yeah, 26,000.
That was a proper crowd and a proper game of football.
Yeah, someone said to me, might have been in a hurricane game or one of the Super Rugby games, 8,000 and 26,000 in Auckland.
Touching on what Phil said, when they announced that they were coming, the first thing they did, they engaged with all the clubs in the Auckland region. They did. They were very, very smart. They've signed in with all the clubs in TDP up there. So that's basically their academy. It's just a big, massive stretch of clubs. They're monitoring players within all those teams, helping the coaching. So they've got the buy-in from all the clubs, which I think you're halfway there if you can do that. And then when you've bought a season ticket, 25% of it went to your club. They did all these little things, which was just, I think they got Auckland on side very quickly. And I think you can tell. I went to one of the games this year, managed to go and watch them play the Phoenix up there, and he puts a show on. Yeah, the American guy, he puts a show on. We had planes over the top with smoke and a jazz flute guy in the middle singing, and it's just like it is a show. Yeah, and they've just done it the right way. Yeah, and the models worked. It does help that they're supported by Bournemouth and
Yeah,
about
yeah.
5 billion, but
Yeah, that's right. That helps for sure. There is still another round, actually. Wellington Phoenix taking on Perth Glory and Western United taking on Auckland FC. So that's going to be an interesting prelude, but, whether or not both sides will stack their team, they might put some...
I think Western United might are they second or third, so they probably need to win this in order for the playoff.
to miss
Yeah,
that
right,
one,
to put the home.
Yeah, so it's probably
Home
got more
table.
on there. They'll be looking for a win, and maybe even Auckland are looking at the right result.
Yeah,
That
well,
makes sense.
or either that or maybe resting one or two. They might not be too worried about the result, but they'll need to secure a top position for sure.
Sounds like half the Phoenix boys will get on the Perth Glory bus.
I was just going to say that. You're sitting that through their plane.
That's the plane.
Yeah, high fiving their new teammates before they go.
Now, by the time we've finished this podcast, the UEFA Champions League game has well and truly probably been finished. I haven't caught the result, but at the time of doing this, Arsenal were 1-0 down to PSG, and PSG scored in the first 3 minutes, I think. So, do we know?
It finished 1-0. Yeah.
It finished 1-0. So, right. Well, but actually, probably not a bad result, because you'd probably back yourself to get 2 or 3 away, wouldn't you?
Don't know. PSG have looked good. I must admit, when Liverpool played them away, they absolutely battered us, and we scored late on and won 1-0, but they dominated the whole game. So it's a quite new look PSG. There's no real big stars. It's some players that have moved around a bit, and it's a young side. And I think they're going to take some stopping, to be honest, in the whole thing.
The next one, Barcelona versus Inter Milan, so that's still yet to be played, and then it reverses on 6th and 7th of May, with the final 31st of May in Munich. Premier Division results, just quickly: Arsenal and Palace 2-2. Palace playing pretty well at the moment. Chelsea 1-0 over Everton. Brighton 3-2 over West Ham. Newcastle 3-0 over Ipswich. No favours there. Fulham 2-1 over Southampton. Thank you. Stewie picked a draw, and he said Southampton to get their first win of the season.
Wow.
2-1, thank you. Wolves 3-0 over Leicester. Bournemouth 1-1 with Man United. Well, actually, Bournemouth's been playing pretty well, especially at home as well.
Before you get to the next one, because it doesn't matter, you haven't got
He has
the
got the Man
FA Cup. He hasn't got the FA Cup.
No, I didn't have the FA Cup. That's right.
I think City won 2-0.
Yes, they,
And Palace won 3-0.
That's right. So
Yeah.
it's the 1980 Cup final.
oh, is it? Is it really? Oh, who won that one?
I can't remember. City probably.
And 5-1 over Spurs. I mean, what a celebration!
What a send off! Absolute send off. Yeah, it was. Spurs started well. To be fair, they scored early.
Yes, they did. Yes,
yeah,
they did. They scored first. Yeah.
Solanke scored, but I don't think there was going to be any other result. When
No.
you know they've got to win, they can win it at home. And
Yeah.
so I think they ran over the top of them at the end.
The streets
So-
were red.
Oh, it was amazing. It was
Yeah.
amazing. The funniest thing I've heard from the whole weekend, have you heard about the flares? So Everton fans were selling red flares, but when you cracked them, it was blue.
Oh, fantastic.
So
I
it
don't
was,
remember
it was on Instagram. So this guy was selling all these blue flares. It's hilarious. So they got these pictures. It's brilliant. But brilliant for Liverpool. And sort of wheels fell off a little bit through the Champions League and stuff. But they were always in contention to win it with the good start they had and the way they played through Christmas. So unbelievable for a coach to win it his first year. I think Mourinho and Pep were the last two, which is fantastic. And
and he signed Van Dijk and Salah have been re-signed.
so
that's right,
them,
So they're in the right, and next year maybe Europe becomes a bit more of a target. They're going to be a good side. They're going to be. I think he's taken Klopp's legacy, and he's
Yeah, he has.
better at it.
He said there was good structure when he got there.
Yeah.
And it was just his job to really, and he said, actually, there's always things to improve. And so, he just found some things they wanted to work on. He said, even at the end of the season now, we've got some things to improve. But, he said, I had a pretty good foundation when I got there.
But I didn't even know who he was. I'm not going to lie. Before
No.
they brought him in, I had no idea who he was.
And
honestly.
presumably he was
And-
recommended.
And no, they've done their homework. It looks like
Yeah.
it. They thought he was the right man to come in after. Completely different people, though.
Yeah.
Which I find intriguing.
Mm.
Where Liverpool looked at it and says, "Well, we've had the Fast and Furious. We just need this guy now to
The steady
which is
engine.
brilliant." So
Yeah.
And he's not far removed from the 70s Liverpool type of manager, your Paisley and that sort of Joe Fagan. He's kind of like, let the players do the thing, love the people.
Yeah.
But rather than maybe Klopp became too big a personality, and it's now I'm worried from a United City point of view.
That's right.
I'm worried this is a side that's going to compete. I think Arsenal are continually getting close, but they just don't have that. They don't have those extra players.
Yeah, and probably watch out for Chelsea next season too, because young side and they're building. They've had some results recently.
They just need consistency, really. He changed the team quite a bit at the start, and I think he's now found what he was looking for. Pretty much, he knows who he wants.
Well, they've had some results lately, so I just think they're building,
and he'll clear out. I think a few.
It's funny how these big personalities. Your fella, the lad from City who went to Chelsea, who was a superstar. He's not been picked. They're played better without these superstar players.
Yeah.
And a bit, again, back to City, without having a man up front, they've had to work harder.
Yeah.
And going back to Liverpool, they haven't quite, they're a team rather than an individual. So
yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, and that's the difference. We'd go back to the PSG side. When they had Mbappe and stuff, they would get close but couldn't get over the line. And they bring these young lads in. There's a guy that was released by Wolves, is starting middle of the park from PSG, Vicento or something. He's unbelievable. But he's just had his time.
Yeah.
Enrique's backed him and said, well, here, I'm just going to play every week. And he's been fantastic. And now they're talking that he could move for big money in the summer, and just shows you.
Yeah, just every coach has their opinion on a player, don't they? So it's just luck whether they see something in you and you can prove it on the day. Quick fire predictions: Forest and Brentford. Forest at home.
Forest.
Man City versus Wolves. So that's Wolves, is it, Skippy?
Yeah, I think Man City got the mojo back, to be fair. So is that De Bruyne's last home game?
Ooh.
I'm not sure if it is. I don't know if they've got another one, but if it is, it'll be a massive send off for him. If it is their last home game. Rumour mill is that he's going to Villa. I don't know if Phil's seen that. He's in discussions with Aston Villa at the moment. So.
City, it's just a couple of results in the middle there, because their last home stretch has been quite good, isn't it? But they usually have that late run, and they tip it at the end, but it didn't quite come
the
off.
wheels fell off too much. Double spoke to him, but wasn't that keen. He won't put the yards in, so we're not going to sign him.
Yeah,
fair enough.
For all the noise that was made over the wheels falling off, they're still third?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
final.
This is what I can't understand. It's like they lost. Everyone's going to have a dip at some point.
Yeah.
You can't be as consistent as they were for so long and not have a dip.
Yeah,
but God, they ridiculed them.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's tall poppy. They've been up there for so long. Even I was saying there's no way I want City to win this year, but you want to take them down. If Liverpool won another couple, they'll be the same, and people enjoy the fact the wheels come off,
Well, there's a team that's about 18th in the division called Man United. Still love it. Don't care about it.
God, Jesus.
Liverpool winning the title, I don't care, but United drawing is.
Yeah. There's a little bit of work to do there. Okay, so where are we? Villa versus Fulham. Villa at home.
Villa.
He said that too easy. Everton versus Ipswich. They're at home.
Everton.
That could be. Is that their last game? That's
the last one at Goodison. I'm nearly positive.
Right. Yeah. Leicester versus Southampton. Does it really matter?
1-1.
Well,
that won't be a draw. That probably won't be.
I noticed you didn't say Southampton definitely will get their first win.
That could be Vardy's last home game as well. Yes.
He's
left.
Right. He's pulled the pin.
He's left. He's had enough.
He has. Arsenal versus Bournemouth. Bournemouth are away.
Is the next leg for the Champions League next weekend? Next week?
Mm-hmm.
If it is, they'll rest people.
Yeah,
so
could be Bournemouth. Brentford and Man U. You'd have to back Brentford there, wouldn't you, at home?
When I was saying I went to the UK, we went to watch Brentford play City. Oh, wow. Fabulous.
It's right on top, isn't it?
It's an incredible atmosphere.
Right on top.
They play at such a pace. Amazing coach. And you don't want to play there. You can see why they knock teams over, because they're just the intensity of it, the crowd are onto it. I'd say 2-3 again tonight.
Well, there you go. Brighton and Newcastle, another good game, actually. Brighton at home.
Draw.
West Ham versus Spurs.
I reckon football will lose on that day.
He'll retain his job next year?
He's still in the He's still in the UEFA Cup.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the UEFA Cup, Skip.
What's it called? The UEFA
Euro, is it?
It's on Rumble.
Europa League.
Europa League.
He's in the Europa League. The second
Europa
one.
Car Higher.
They're in the second one, not the third one like Chelsea.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, to Chelsea.
Yeah.
I'd say another draw.
Another draw. Chelsea and Liverpool. Chelsea at home.
I think we'll still be hungover, mate. So I think
And you'll have
10-0 to Chelsea.
no, they have to do the guard of honor.
yeah, they do got to clap us
Yeah.
on.
Oh, do they?
Yeah. Yeah,
Jeez.
that'll be an interesting day in my house though. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Crystal
Creepy.
Palace and Forest. So Crystal Palace at home. Crystal Palace playing well at the moment.
I think Forest need to win that. There's the shakedown at the top of the.
It's getting tight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So Liverpool well ahead, Arsenal, Newcastle at the top. Bottom three, Ipswich, Leicester, Southampton. So they're pretty much what it says highly likely, but I think they're definitely gone. The survival battle, West Ham, Spurs, Everton still at risk, but I don't think so.
Nah, it's done.
Championship picks. So Leeds United, we talked about, definitely going up. Burnley definitely going up. Sheffield United, the favourites. Relegation, Cardiff City, Plymouth Argyle and Luton. So there you go.
The old curse of getting relegated from the Premier League for Luton Town.
Oh sugar!
Oh,
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
They've gone
I
from
know,
Premier
yes.
League down in League One.
and they just did up their stadium for the last year for the Premiership.
It's scary, that gap.
Oh, and we must mention Wrexham, obviously,
I know, again, to shows you what money can do.
and gee, it'd be a leap for Premiership, wouldn't it? Premier Division. And then what are they going to do with the stands? Are they going to start building that this year?
They've got one at the end, haven't they?
Yeah, they
They've
fixed
rebuilt
that.
the
It's
Kop,
done.
whatever.
It's gone. They did
So,
rebuild the cop.
so they're all
They're up there, yeah.
up to date.
Guess what we did on our trip to?
You went to, of course,
Yeah,
you
we
did.
went to
Front rows now, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
We went to the Wrexham and used the toilet. Actually.
Yeah, but the thing is, I say that about it shows you what money can do, but they've actually put a lot of money. I've watched they've got like a documentary series. They've put a lot of money into actual Wrexham as a city and town.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
really have.
And I don't think, like, player-wise, they haven't gone
No,
silly
they've,
off.
they've picked up guys that have been released. They've picked up guys that weren't wanted, and yeah, they've had the Arsenal goalkeeper on loan. He's unbelievable. They've had it. They've done really, really well with recruitment, and they've stood by the coach that they brought in from day one to get them
Yeah,
there.
they have, yeah.
And the pressure might tell in the championship though. But
Well, it could be, but isn't it more about the Netflix series? It's where the real money is, isn't it?
goes well for them.
Well, I think the Sunderland one was so good about them being
Yeah.
relegated. Maybe they'll get more hits if they get to the
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll
Birmingham-
get a few celebs tipping a few $100 million just to.
if you look at Birmingham's,
Unbelievable.
they. I mean, you talk about Wrexham, they're nowhere near Birmingham. I think they've broken all records with regards to how
Points.
much they're paying and points, and they're the big monster that's now going to go into a very strong championship. I think actually looking at the playoffs, I think Sunderland are sitting waiting. They've been promoted. They've been in the playoffs a long time,
Yeah.
and I think they've probably been getting a lot of their
Get it right.
focus to it.
Yeah, get it
Whereas
right.
Sheffield United, what's the coach called?
Wilder's back there, isn't he?
Well, he's gone absolutely mad. He's shouting and swearing at people. So they're probably going down, and the likes of Sunderland and Coventry are.
Well, Alan Roberts won't be liking you, mate.
Oh, well.
Anyway.
I went to watch Sheffield Wednesday.
Oh, did I? Oh, so is he Wednesday or United? I can't remember who he's for. But anyway, so there we go. Geez, what a big show this has been. A lot of information to take in, but it's a lot of information to go through in a morning trying to prepare for the podcast. But we've covered it all. Hey, thank you very much, Phil, for coming in. Great to see you again. Good to see the club's still in a good position, and well done on the club rooms, mate. That's fantastic.
I'm on my way now to maybe get some tarps out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Skip. Well done on the weekend, and yeah, if it doesn't get any easier, off down to Christchurch, take on Coastal.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're good. Boys are doing well at the moment. Congratulations to Liverpool fans and Auckland FC fans. We look forward to the finals. Local comps heating up. We've got the Chatham Cup is still alive in the region. Sheppard coming. We've got the Southern League and, of course, the local leagues. Good luck this weekend. Huge thanks to Stan and the team at the Turf Hotel. You can listen on Spotify, MBS Talk Nelson, YouTube, our MBS Talk Nelson website, and also digital radio. Don't forget, if you're looking to get involved with the podcast, you want to sponsor, hit us up. Be great to have you on board. That's it for this week. See you again next week on Football Focus.
Talk Nelson Radio. It's the Talk of Nelson.